Nobody wants to buy junk, but when it comes to LED lighting, how can you tell the junk from a good deal? Are LED lights like prescription drugs? Are generic products basically the same thing as name brand lights, just less expensive? Unfortunately, no. LED lighting is not regulated as closely or precisely as the prescription drug market. Stickers of approval from UL and DLC provide assurance that a light meets certain minimum standards, but many of the characteristics of quality lights are not regulated. There are thousands of small companies now competing in the lighting market alongside the name brands. There isn't any real regulation, and the people buying the product don't know how to tell the good stuff from the bad. Sort of sounds like the black market for drugs. If you get lucky and find a good supplier, you'll get a bargain, but most of the time, you'll end up with junk. And the most expensive LED light is one you have to buy twice. Poor quality LEDs can have all sorts of problems. They fail much earlier than promised. They might have a long warranty, but it's just a marketing scheme and won't help when the lights fail. The color isn't consistent, the illumination isn't even, they generate lots of glare, they have trouble with flicker, and more. So how can you make sure you're buying quality LED? If you do need to spend a little more money to get a good product, how can you make sure you are spending that money on something that is genuinely better? First, find someone you can trust. You aren't a lighting expert, and you don't have the time to become one, so you need to find someone with expertise who is also honest. Most people can't troubleshoot their car's difficulties, which makes an honest and skilled mechanic invaluable. Same thing with a lighting supplier. Confirm whether your current lighting supplier is trustworthy or start looking for a new one. Start by asking questions. Which brands do you prefer, and why? How does your company identify quality solutions? Are there any products you don't sell because of quality concerns? How do you resolve quality issues, such as early failure? If their answers sound more like a marketing soundbite than an honest conversation, that should be a red flag. Next, look at their history. Are they proud of the lights they've sold in the past, or are they trying to hide them? Example photos and case studies say a lot about the kind of work a company does. If they don't have anything on their website, ask them if they can point to local examples. At this point, you should have a general feel for whether the supplier seems trustworthy or not. But to really establish trust, you'll need to get your feet wet. Perhaps place a few small orders before committing to a large one. When you do, you'll need to be able to evaluate the product you get. You can depend on a good supplier to give you good lighting, and you can tell whether a supplier is good based on whether the lighting is good. Which means at the end of the day, you're going to have to do some level of evaluation on your own. Here are a few tips to help you know what to look for. First, pay attention to how much testing has been done. If the manufacturer makes a quality product, they aren't going to be afraid to have it tested. Look for evidence of that testing. What certifications are listed on the spec sheet? UL, ETL, and DLC listings show evidence of testing. Outdoor or wet location fixtures should have an IP rating for their ability to protect against moisture and dust. Fixtures can also be tested for surge protection, vibration, and exposure to salt fog, among other things. The more testing it seems like the manufacturer has done, the better. Photometric data is also a good sign, either on the spec sheet or in the form of IES files on the manufacturer website. While initially this information might not tell you much, with a little practice you can identify products with good optics from products with poor optics. Second, quality has a distinct look and feel. The ability to search products and view information online is incredibly convenient, but it's no substitute for seeing and touching the product. Like social media, it's also far easier to make your product look like quality online than it is to actually make it in the real world. Try to get the supplier to show you a sample unit, especially if you haven't yet established trust. How does the product feel? Solid or flimsy? Like a piece of professional equipment, or like something made in a garage? How does the product look? Do the pieces fit together well? Is the light bright? Is it concentrated or spread out the way you want it? Smooth, or can you see the LEDs behind the lens? How much glare does it create? Pay attention to the little things, and if it looks like the manufacturer paid attention to the little things too, you are in good hands. Ordering new lighting has never been easier. but ensuring you get quality lighting still takes work. In fact, with so many upstart manufacturers and suppliers, it's actually harder than it used to be. Don't take the easy way out. Don't give up and order the first halfway decent solution you can find online. You'll pay for it in the long run. Spend a little bit of time and money to make sure you are satisfied when you do the full upgrade, and still satisfied 5 years later. We take quality seriously at Voss. If you're looking for an honest supplier to help you find a good lighting solution, we'd love to help.